Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here, we are here, we are here. Welcome to Elder Council. The container is open. And I am so happy to be here with you tonight. I'm so excited. I'm more excited tonight than I think I ever have been to take you into Elder Council. It is such a beautiful space, and it is so profoundly important. And what's really interesting about Elder Council spaces, I don't think we just open this container for ourselves. I think anytime any of us does consciousness raising work for ourselves, even if we think it's for us, we're really doing it for the planet. We're really doing it for the collective consciousness. And so I want to thank you for doing this work. I want to tell you that I'm happy to have you here. I want to tell you that I don't think there are any accidents. So if you're here doing this with me tonight, I think it's pre-planned, destined. Something's going to come through for you tonight. And the biggest thing I want to tell you is enjoy it. Let go of attachment to what am I going to see, or what am I going to learn, or am I going to see, or how will I know if I see, or, let go of the attachment to all of those things and really just let yourself be tonight, right? That's so beautiful. Alicia's going in for her first time. And so quite a few of you have not done Elder Council before, which I think makes it even more special. So just know that whatever is supposed to happen will happen. It's really interesting. The more I do journey work, both myself, I'm preparing to go into journey myself as a traveler, and as someone who holds the container for other people to do journey work. What I have really found is the most powerful journeys for me are always the ones where I let go of my own need to know. Where I don't have expectations. I always go in with an intention. I'm going to take my sweater off because it's really warm in here and it's probably going to get hotter before it cools off. I always go in with an intention, and a question, but I don't go in with expectations, because I think the more you expect to see, sometimes the less you see. And that can also make you feel like you're not doing something right. So the big thing I want to tell you tonight is you can't do this wrong. Anything you need to see will be shown to you, and really allow yourself to be open to symbols. You might even if you're in a room that's very familiar to you, you might start to smell something different, or you might start to feel something different, or you might get hot, or you might get cold. So kind of let yourself just be open to whatever feelings, thoughts, reactions you have, just trusting that it's all okay, it's all normal. And some people will see stuff. Some people won't see anything. Sometimes your spirit guides, some of them, quite a few of mine are in pure spirit form, meaning they no longer have a vehicle or a container to present to me that looks anything human or animal-like at all. And so when I see them in Elder Council, they're always a void. Like sometimes I'll sense around the table that there's kind of an energy or a system, a field of energy, but it doesn't have, I wouldn't be able to reach out and touch them, in other words. And so just know that sometimes your spirit guides show up as spirit. And so you have to use other senses to receive them. You have to be able to sense them, or even just kind of have an awareness. It may not even be a sensing of them. It may just be an attunement. And the other thing I want to tell you too is you may not get the messages in a conscious way that makes sense to you. In other words, you may not see a symbol or get words or even hear anything. They can download to you and transfer to you without any conscious awareness on your part. So it is actually possible to go into a journey space, not feel anything, not see anything, not sense anything, and have a complete rewiring of your system, of your matrix. And so, and that can really throw people off, because they'll say, well, I guess it was okay. I didn't really feel anything. And then 2 or 3 days later, they sense like a full realignment, right? And it's sort of like, where did that come from? And it's because the information was transferred to them, but not in a way that they would have normally expected, if that makes sense. So beware the next morning. That's right. Okay, but don't be scared. One of the things I do before I open your container is I call in guides to keep us safe. I call in all the corners, the quadrants, the guardians of all of the gateways. I've already done all of that. I'm going to open our circle still now as we begin, but I just want you to know I do a lot of work in advance. And that's partly, you always want to do journey work with a guide, someone who is going to open the container, walk you through, close the container. A container meaning an experience, that is guarded, that is kept for you energetically by someone else. And so it's really important that you have that. You have that in me. And so I will be your guide for this evening, but always do work like this in a container. And even the recordings are contained. And so even if you watch this a year from now or 5 years from now, this is still a container. There's no sort of like expiration date on it. So as long as you're watching this and doing this work, no matter when you do it, you're doing it in a safe and held container. That's right. So take a nice deep breath, call yourself into present time. I'm going to light some beautiful ceremonial sage. You can begin anointing if you would like with Elder Council or any of your other essential oils that you might want to be working with tonight, just to get sort of a scent association going. And then you'll want to smudge with an herb or a resin. I've been burning a lot of frankincense and myrrh and Palo Santo today to prepare. Lots of copal, which is a really beautiful resin to burn before any kind of ceremonial work. Now I'm just working with white sage as a final smudge, just to release any energies that are not in service to our experience this evening. And as you call your energy into present time, I'm setting the intention that you too can release any thoughts, fears, anxieties, hesitations, concerns, worries that distract you from being fully present here in this moment. Just knowing that anything that is distracting you right now will be right there waiting for you when we're done tonight. And so you don't need to attend to it now. Just give yourself the gift of this moment, being fully here and nowhere else. Fully here and nowhere else. My favorite thing to hear when I'm entering journey space is you have nowhere else to be and nothing else to do. You have nowhere else to be and you have nothing else to do. You have nowhere else to be and you have nothing else to do. So good. Okay. Now, I'm going to open our circle. I'm using a personal tool tonight to open our circle. This is a very powerful wand that was made for me by a very powerful teacher. It is a sovereignty wand, and it's a Lemurian wand. It is a wand that recalls my priestessing days at that time in that place, and probably may invoke some memories for you of your priestessing days at that time, at that place. We are being invited tonight, and I want you to set your own intention and have your own question, but I want to tell you the energy that's really available for us tonight for Elder Council is the energy of sovereignty. And it's the energy of reconnecting with your heart space from a place of personal power. And so this is what my guides have told me for today, or for tonight. And so we are going to enter the temple at Karnak tonight. We're going to enter Elder Council through Egypt tonight. I prepared you for that yesterday. Isis will be our guide, and we are going in to visit with Sekhmet, who is the goddess of fire and power in the Egyptian pantheon. And what I've been told tonight is if you want to receive it, the gift in tonight's Elder Council will be Sekhmet's willingness to touch your heart space and to light the fires of transformation within your heart, meaning giving you the feeling back, being able to feel, being able to love, being able to receive love, being able to hold love, being able to channel love. If you want to do that work tonight, it's available to you. You can do any work you want tonight. That's just what my guides have told me today is especially available right now. And I think part of it is, as we transition from winter to spring here in the north, the sun becomes more and more important and powerful and present in our sky. It's a direct influence, which is very powerful in a time of eclipses when every other influence seems to be indirect. Does that make sense? We're surrounded by indirect influences. And so tonight, as we work with Sekhmet and her very direct, very forward, and in that way, very healing energy, what she can do for you is burn through any of the veils of illusion tonight. Any places where you do not have clarity, Sekhmet can place her hand there and transform. So whether it's personal, awakening for your own love or your own relationship, whether you need to have deeper clarity professionally, whether you need to have deeper clarity with your family, whether you need to have deeper clarity with regard to your soul path and your soul purpose. So this is resonating, and I'm really excited that it is. But again, remember, if it's not resonating, you can take any question you have. There'll be a time in the meditation where I tell you to ask your question. And so it can be in alignment with this heart opening, heart healing, heart transforming energy that Sekhmet is making available to us right now. Or it can be anything that you have wanted to bring into the space. How does that sound for tonight? Yeah, it's funny. I have a feeling we may have done this before, you and me. Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Are anybody else having that feeling tonight? I kind of feel like we may have done this before. Well, and one of the things Sekhmet can do is break through illusions of sadness and illusions of disconnection, right? You're never alone. And so she can push through anxiety. She can push through depression. She can push through resistance. She can push through all of those places in you where you feel like, you know, there's a scab over it. That's kind of the metaphor. Isn't that funny? Yeah, there's something about tonight that's oddly familiar. And I'm really glad that you're sensing it too. It's pretty neat. It's nice to be with you again. So pushing past and breaking off that scab, and you may bleed a little bit, right? I mean, you may, as you push off those scabs, you know, in the places that need to be transformed, you may bleed a little bit, but maybe in service of having that wound finally heal. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you have a wound that won't fully heal and that scab just needs to come off once and for all, and that wound needs to see the light of day, right? So aho to that. Okay. So I have now opened with the primary wand. Now I'm going to open our circle with the secondary wand, which means I have 2 layers of energetic protection around us tonight, calling in the divine white light of protection as we prepare to open our circle. So I want you to roll your shoulders back. Again, just calling yourself into present time, hands on your knees with your palms up to be nice and receptive to the energy. So good. A couple of deep clearing, cleansing breaths. And so I want you to imagine out of your left hand extends that beautiful white beam of light that is the energy of our circle. And I want you to let it wind clockwise all the way around the circle, coming back to you in your right hand. And when it does, you'll be holding the energy of our circle this evening. And tonight we want to honor and recognize the guardians and the gateways of the 4 directions. We want to begin in the east. And tonight we head east. We head to the motherland tonight, for we all come from Egypt. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what color your skin is, no matter who you think you are African. You come from the mother continent. And so tonight we return home. We have missed our connection to this sacred land so much. We have missed you. We have missed you. And so as we fly east tonight, we open the Eastern Gateway to new doorways of awareness. We welcome the new beginning that's available to us this evening, the heart opening, the heart expanding, the heart healing, allowing for all of that energy to flow through our circle this evening. We give thanks. We welcome the guardians of the Eastern Gateway. We turn our attention to the south and welcome the southern guardians to our circle this evening. We are so grateful for the element of fire as we work with Sekhmet tonight to burn through layers of resistance. We understand that fire is the most transformational of all of the elements. It burns clean, it leaves nothing behind. And so tonight, element of fire, we welcome you. We welcome the return of the sun. We welcome Sekhmet into the circle and all of the guardians of the Southern Gateway. We turn our attention west and guardians of the Western Gateway. We ask for the sacred flow of your divine waters tonight. If we shed tears this evening, let them be tears of joy and healing and release and forgiveness. Let us find power in our tears. We should not be afraid to cry. And as we connect with the element of water, the River Nile this evening, as we cross continents and oceans, time and space, to revisit the motherland. We give thanks for safe passage across the sacred waters of our planet. We welcome the Western Guardians to our circle. And in the north, as we seek the presence of the elders tonight here in the north, I ask all guides, guardians, guardian spirits, ancestors, angels, and archangels, ascended masters, to come closer. We invite you all into the circle this evening. All of you who have stepped into the light and done the transformational work to release the resistance, the karma of your past, and to step fully into the healing of your line, we welcome you. Spirit guides, we seek your wisdom tonight. We come before you with such reverence and such gratitude. We understand that you have wisdom to transmit to us and that our presence in the circle tonight has been planned. We ask that you transmit these messages with clarity and with intention. Help us to understand and receive them well. We are open to your guidance tonight. And we thank the Northern Guardians of the Gateways for being present in our circle this evening. And with that, our beautiful circle is open. So good. Okay. So I'm going to light my Spirit Guides candle. If you have a candle and you would like to light it, now is a good time to do that. I often will attach my candles to a plate to keep them stationary. And you can do that just by lighting the bottom of your candle and letting the wax drip onto a plate and then sitting your candle into the wax before it hardens. Just as a quick tip to sort of give your candle something to affix itself to, in case you didn't know that. And then just lighting the wick, and we are ready to go. And so you're welcome to do that. You can turn off the feed if it distracts you during our meditation. I think it's really good for you to go inward now and not be in the feed, just to focus your full attention on the energy of this moment. It's a powerful container. We don't open these often, so give yourself the pleasure of just letting your full attention be with your own circle right now. If you have a stone or stones that you are going to charge tonight as transmitters of this experience, make sure you have those now. If you have not anointed but want to, you should take a moment to do that now. And if you're new, I always put just a little of the essential oil or blend on my third eye for what I know, at my wrists for what I do, and at my ankles for where I go. And what that does is cover most of the meridians of your body, which is an additional layer of protection. And just a nice deep inhale of whatever you are using tonight to drop in. Okay. And so I want you to imagine that from wherever you are tonight, Isis herself is coming to get you. She's coming to you, and she has the intention to bring you swiftly and gently and safely to Karnak. She's coming for you now, and when she comes, she'll wrap her arms and her wings around you. And as she does, much like a mother would with her child, she will scoop you up and transport you on the winds across space and time. And as you feel her arms and her wings wrapped around you, let yourself sort of fall into her embrace tonight. Let this be the sweet moment of surrender, where you let go of your own consciousness for a moment. Let go of your own thoughts, your own fears, your own worries, your own concerns. Let go of all of that for a moment. And just let yourself be as she carries you. And as she lands softly with you in Egypt, you will find yourself now in the center of Karnak Plaza, or the Karnak Temple, which was a sacred site of many temples actually in ancient Egypt. all of which had sacred significance to the gods. And as you land, I want you to notice the marble below you, under your feet. Notice that there might be clay or sand as you walk, as you take your first footsteps out across the temple floor. I want you to notice the temperature around you. It's warm. And it's just dusk. You know, it's just the moment of sunset now as you arrive, which is always the hour of ceremony. It's the transition from day to night, and sunset is the time outside of time. And so we arrive here at the time outside of time, here at the place outside of place. And as you take your first steps looking around, I want you to notice the beautiful columns. Notice the torches, the lit torches. Notice the scent that might be around you now. It could be beautiful cinnamon acacia, or it could be myrrh, frankincense that's burning. Maybe it's a scent you're unfamiliar with, a different kind of resin or gum that reminds you of something familiar, and yet you can't place it. Something in your soul knows that every part of what you see and smell and taste and feel here is familiar to you. And sense the little bit of the childlike excitement in you right now. You know that everyone here is expecting you, and they're so happy that you're here. This is a day they've been looking forward to as well. They don't get to see you often, and so your arrival has been much anticipated. And those who have said yes to coming forward for you tonight as your advocates, as your messengers, as your prophets, as your sources of wisdom, as your sources of support, they have gifts to offer you this evening. And they are just as excited to give them to you as you are excited to receive them. And so as you take your steps, let your breath expand your chest, roll your shoulders back. Let your limbs go soft. Just be in that moment of knowing that everything here has been planned for you. Everything here has been created in support of who you are, what you're doing, and what you wish to know. And so as you take further steps into the temple, you find yourself approaching a courtyard. And there in the courtyard is the tiniest, almost looks like a cave. It's a little tiny shelter far in the corner. And you know that that is a temple within the temple. And it's lit with candles. There's an archway door that leads into it. And it looks so small from where you are. And yet as you approach it, you see that it's easy for you to enter. Even though it's dark, it's all lit with candles. And there's a magical, mystical energy to this little corner of this far temple that's drawing you closer. And as you step inside, all of a sudden you notice that the entire inner landscape of the temple is alive. There's bright, beautiful paintings on the wall, beautiful stone tile on the floor. And as you turn to look to your side to see if Isis is with you, you see that she's gone. But ahead of you, at the end, at the far wall of this beautiful temple, you see the most gorgeous fire goddess, and you know that you are stepping into the presence of Sekhmet. This is Sekhmet's temple in the heart of Karnak, and she has invited you in this evening to gather with your guides to understand what needs to happen in your life to transform your heart, to open you wider to love, to help you receive and give forgiveness. And so as you move closer and take further steps toward where Sekhmet is seated, I want you to notice every detail about her, her flowing gown and her headdress. I want you to notice all of the torches around where she's seated and how she literally seems to be rising from the flames. And yet, with all of the fire and all of the heat in the room is filled with nothing but love. And as you look off to the right, there you see the table. There you see the gathering space where Sekhmet has called all of your ancestors, all of your spirit guides, all of your angels and archangels, your ascended masters, all those who said yes to coming tonight to support you have gathered right here off to the side of Sekhmet's sacred inner temple. And the table that she has placed there is long and it's wide. It can seat anywhere from 5 to 100 people, and the space expands or contracts depending on what has arrived for you this evening. And so I want you to look out over this table now and notice who is there, who has gathered at Sekhmet's command, who has the universe brought together tonight to support you, to love you, to nourish you, to encourage you, to strengthen you, to sing to you, to make you laugh and smile, to remind you who you are. And as you extend your gaze around the table clockwise, just noticing each energy or each face. There may not be a face, so just noticing presence. Who has come forward tonight in this space for you? Is there a grandmother or a grandfather, or an aunt or an uncle, or even a mother or a father, or a child who has come? Is there an ancestor, a relation that you're not familiar with, but who's making themselves known to you tonight? Someone from your line that you haven't met before who might be coming forward now. Are there spirit animal helpers who are coming forward? You might just take notice whether there are birds arriving, which could signal a new beginning on the horizon for you. If there are cats arriving, which can signal major shifts and transformation periods of change. Who is arriving for you? Maybe some of the creatures of the deep oceans are arriving. Maybe octopus and squid are arriving, which means you need to navigate your deeper mysteries. Maybe whale is arriving for you. It's time to go and explore those parts of yourselves that you have refused to look at until now. And then I want you to notice spirit guide energy around the table, which can take any form. And just become aware now of who is here, how they are presenting themselves to you. Sometimes upon meeting you, they will make an offering to you. Sometimes it's a material item, and sometimes they'll open their hand and there will be a symbol written that they want you to see. And so just take note now of any symbols that come to mind for you as they greet you this evening. And as you gaze around the table and notice who is here, I want you to take a moment and I want you to connect energetically one by one with each presence tonight. Take a moment, even just a few seconds, to acknowledge each energy. Just saying thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for the guidance that you will provide. Thank you for the opportunity to have this experience. Thank you for allowing me to be open to see. Thank you for helping me to be brave enough to integrate what I will learn tonight. Thank you for the heart opening and the compassion that will come from healing old wounds tonight. And now that you have connected with the energies and the beings who are here, before you take your place at the table, if you are feeling called to allow Sekhmet to touch your heart this evening, if you are feeling called to let her place her palm of transformation upon your heart, I want you to step forward toward her right now. And if you want, take your talisman or your amulet, your power piece, your transmitter piece, take it in your hand right now as you go to greet her. I have 2 crystals that I'm working with tonight, so it's okay if you have 2. You can have even multiple and just keep them in your hands. And so, Sekhmet, we approach you this evening with your permission. We are so grateful that you offered this opportunity for us to have a deeper awareness of our own capacity to love. And so as we receive your blessing upon our hearts this evening, we give thanks for the possibility of transformation, that even in our 20s and our 30s, in our 40s, in our 50s, in our 60s, in our 70s, in our 80s, in our 90s, it's never too early and it's never too late for us to open our heart and learn to love and receive and forgive. There's always time and we can always love more. And so if you give permission for her to do this work on your behalf, just say yes and step forward and allow her to reach her arm out and make contact with your heart space. You can even take your crystals in your hand and imagine placing them over her hand. What needs to heal or transform or shift in your heart tonight, my sister? And Sekhmet says, through me, what needs to heal in your heart tonight, my daughter? I can feel her saying that to you. There is a motherly energy to what she's offering you this evening. And can you receive it? Can you allow yourself to be fully and unconditionally loved tonight? And how will that shift your experience in your relationships from here forward? And as you receive her hand, I want you to imagine allowing your heart to just completely open. Allow her energy to make contact with every part of your heart. Allow it to burn through and burn away and burn past any old wounds, all the breaks and the tears in your heart from the years, the decades of loneliness and sadness. Let it all just burn away tonight and be fully renewed, transformed, healed to the point where when you think of those experiences and those traumas, that the tears won't come as easily. And we receive your blessing tonight, Sekhmet, with gratitude. Amen, Aho, and so it is. And so, if you received that, just take a moment. I like to bow in gratitude. Some people like to extend their hands out in gratitude and just give thanks. Just be in a place of receiving. And now, without turning your back, take a few steps backward. And then I want you to turn to the right and I want you to find your seat at the table of your elders. They always save a place for you. And so again, as you gaze around the table, just noticing who's there, saying hello again. Maybe new ones have arrived while you were receiving your beautiful heart blessing from Sekhmet. So just gazing around the table one more time, noticing who's there, giving thanks, taking your seat. And so I want you to take a moment and either, orally, audibly, or just to yourself, I want you to state your intention for tonight's Elder Council. What is your personal intention tonight? And your intention can be your question. Your intention can just be a word that comes to mind for you. It can be love, can be healing, can be transformation, can be clarity, can be peace. Don't overthink it, but just allow yourself to express a simple intention for tonight. And now take a moment to allow them to express their intention to you. Spirit guides, we ask you, what is your intention for meeting with us tonight? Is there a word or a phrase or a symbol or a sound, an emotion? Is there an occasion that you need to bring our awareness to? And if so, please make that clear to us now. The overwhelming energy I keep sensing from the collective is how happy they are to see us. I just keep hearing, we're so happy that you're here. There's such joy when we make these intentional moments, these experiences of contact. There's such joy on both sides. There's a lot of anticipation and appreciation from them too, because it's so much easier for them to bring us into alignment when we make ourselves available, sort of beyond the veil of consciousness. I can sense ancestors reaching out hands to touch you. The ancestors are usually the ones who miss you most because they had the most recent contact with you. And so allow yourself that closeness too, if they want to reach out and touch you or put an arm around you or wrap you in a shawl or a cloak or whatever gestures, physical gestures of affection they offer to you, just receive and just know that it's safe to trust. And just as you would one day in elder council, so want to wrap your arms around your granddaughter, right? Or your niece. Can you imagine how overjoyed you would be that they set space to connect with you and believe? So beautiful. And so the guides tonight would like to know what your question is. And so I want you to take a moment, and again, you can say it quietly to yourself. You can say it out loud, but I want you to take this moment or this opportunity to ask your question for tonight. What can the guides and the ascended masters and the angels and archangels, what can they tell you about that will help you? What medicine do you seek tonight? And state your question with clarity and with confidence, knowing that if that question is on your heart, it's probably been placed there, probably by them. And so state it with clarity and confidence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so now as I drum, I want you to step into what feels good. Are you feeling called to stand and rise and go and walk around the table and physically connect with the guides? Are you feeling called to stay where you are and maybe they will come to you? Are you feeling called to maybe change locations with them to a different part of the temple? I'm sensing movement. And so I want you to notice what is needed for you right now and how do you want to be? Where do you want to be? And as I begin to drum, I want you to find your fit, find where you want to be in relationship with them. And then I want you to get comfortable and just allow, just receive. And spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, ascended masters, light beings from all dimensions, star beings from across the portals. We ask that you take this time as I drum to transmit, transfer, and download any information that this woman needs in order to move more directly and confidently in the direction of her dreams and her purpose for being alive on this planet at this time. We give you full permission to communicate openly and clearly with us, and we thank you in advance for the guidance that you will give. Amen. Aho. Whew. And so it is. And so, as you sit in this place, this open, available, healed, transformed, connected, understood, seen, appreciated, loved, remembered, known, valued. As you sit in this place where you feel all of those things, I want you to ask yourself, where in your life do you need to bring that energy most? And if you don't know, ask the guides. Who in your life needs this from you? Needs you to show up from this place of power? And what Sekhmet transferred to you in that moment was not just a healing of the heart, but it was an empowerment of the heart. It was an activation of the heart space, an activation of what may have been very dormant for you for a very long time. So I want you to imagine, first, I want you to imagine sending that love and connection and peace and appreciation and understanding. I want you to try beaming that from your heart to the heart of the first person that comes to mind for you right now who needs it. If you have a double terminated wand, you can use that. So that's what I'm doing. But who in your life needs to receive that lightning bolt of peace and love and transformation? Who needs that from you tonight? Let's send that over to them. And let yourself open to receive what they can offer you in return. They may not be able to meet you from this place because you're in an altered state, but whatever they are able to send to you in love and in kindness, open your heart now to also receive that. And now I want you to try the same thing, but I want you to try sending it to someone who you've struggled with, struggled to be compassionate with, struggled to be kind to, struggled to show understanding to. I want you to try beaming this love that you're feeling right now to someone you've struggled to show it to. And I want you to open your heart to be able to receive whatever they can send back to you in love and kindness from their level of development and awareness. And just be willing to receive it, whatever it is. Just trusting it's enough and trusting that it's right for you, that it's being filtered for you, and that you're just receiving whatever pure conscious love they're capable of transmitting to you at this time. And so that exercise is a gift to you that you can, with this new activation of your heart space, you can now send that to anyone at any time and receive from anyone at any time, as long as you're doing that from this level of conscious awareness. So be in this, try to come back to this place first in your heart and then beam it. Do you know what I mean? And then try to send and receive. And take a breath there. Do you have any other questions on your mind or on your heart today that you wish to present before your tribe, before your council this evening? They're open to receiving and responding to you. Is there anything else on your heart? And spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels, and beings, if you have any other wisdom, insight, information, symbol, message to transmit to each woman this evening, please take the time and space to do that now. We ask that you transfer your wisdom with clarity so that we can understand and integrate your messages. And we give thanks. It's so sweet to be surrounded by our tribe as you come, as you join us. We're so thankful for the protection that you offer. And take a moment now to offer your own gesture of gratitude and appreciation. It could be just, like I said, just bringing your hands together in prayer and gratitude. It could be extending your hands out in front of you in gratitude. It could be extending your life force toward them in gratitude. Some people like to actually go around the table and just make contact, just take a hand or just wrap their arms around or just put their hands toward the energy that's there. We're so thankful for all of the wisdom that is shared tonight, all of the information that will be downloaded to you to expedite your progress on your soul's path this evening. And while we're in Elder Council, I would like to ask for a blessing upon the entire magical sabbatical, every woman in this container. I ask that she be blessed in 2018 with health, happiness, prosperity, peace on every level. I ask that she be surrounded by love and support from sources known and unknown. I give thanks for each woman in this space and her presence and the guidance that led her here. I ask for direction. I ask for guidance. I ask to be the hollow bone in the channel so that whatever wisdom is needed in our space comes through clearly and accurately. And we ask for these blessings. I ask for these blessings upon our community with gratitude, with humility, and with so much love. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for the blessing of giving us access to this space year after year. We're so thankful for the connection. And so when you are ready, and it's always hard, It's always hard. When you are ready, you can rise from the seat that you have taken around this beautiful table. Allow yourself to receive one more time just the wave of love and transformation and possibility, and try to remember what this feels like. You know, in this space outside of space, in this time outside of time, nothing is impossible. This is the space of all creation. And so whatever you want to dream begins here, whatever you want to create begins here, whatever you want to experience begins here, and the only limitation is you. And part of the magic of Elder Council is it's a sacred reminder to you of how real magic is. It's as close as we can get in so many ways. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so as you take your first steps back from the table, again, just giving thanks to everyone who showed up for you, whatever information they transferred to you consciously, whatever information they transferred to you subconsciously, just being in a state of gentle gratitude for all of it. If you would like to give them permission to come and be with you in dream time tonight, you should say that now. And so what I usually say is, spirit guides, I welcome you to visit me this evening in dream time. I give you permission to access my dreams, and I ask that you continue this conversation there. Amen, aho, and so it is. And so if you want to take a moment just to do that now, I think it's a beautiful invitation before they depart. And so spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters, sending all of our beautiful sacred energy from tonight to the source of that siren. Wrap that person up in love tonight and healing. So spirit guides and all beings who attended us tonight, with gratitude and love, we release you from our circle to return to that your own space outside of space and your own time outside of time. We release you to return back across the veil, and we give thanks for your presence, your direction, your guidance, your support. We feel you, we sense you, and we know that the connection is there. We ask you to make yourselves even more known to us, and we promise to make ourselves even more open to you as we take important steps toward our own ascension process. And as they leave and return, just a beautiful, gentle clearing. Souls make passage through these temples all the time. So it's a constant sort of crossroads of spirits. It's so beautiful. And now to Sekhmet, we give thanks for your presence, for the energy of your archetypal being and what you represent to us as a figure of power, possibility, and transformation. We thank you for the blessing upon our hearts tonight. We commit, and sisters, I want you to hear me on this. I want you to say it with me. You say, I commit to bringing this heart healing forward in my life and living it so other people can see how I have changed. You got to commit to it. You got to now live into this higher version of yourself, this higher evolution. You're held to a different standard, as we always say, right? Bathe in a different light, but you're held to a different standard too. So we commit right now to walking this transformation, to representing this transformation, to embodying this transformation in our lives. And as you move forward in your life, embodying this renewed sense of love and commitment and capacity to hold compassionate space, I want you to imagine how you can, beyond even embodying all of that, how you can bring that into other parts of your life too. How can you share that energy with other people? Will it be through teaching? Will it be through writing? Will it be through what you make with your hands? How will you, in a really physical way, a way people can experience, how will you commit to bringing this love forward in the world through you? What gifts do you need to develop this year in order to represent this love? And really make the commitment tonight. It can change your life. And it can change every part of your life, including your most intimate relationships. Showing up from a deeper place of love and compassion changes everything for everyone. And that's what we mean when we say you got to be the change you want to see in the world. This is exactly what we're talking about. If you can show up with a deeper level of love and a commitment to that level of love, literally nothing is impossible in your life. But it has to start with you, and it has to start there. And why not let it start tonight, right ahead of this big, powerful new moon next week? Now is the time to release any obstacles to your ability to love deeper right now. So good. And so, Sekhmet, we thank you. We release you from the circle this evening. We bid you farewell as we leave your temple tonight. We thank you for the safe passage here and for the permission to be in your presence. We thank you, thank you, thank you. And suddenly and gently, Isis appears again to your right. And Isis, we give thanks to you as well. We know you, Isis, are the goddess whose gift is the ability to remember. Isis can always remind you of the best parts of yourselves, of the times in your life when you were most loved, most powerful, when you felt most capable and most possible. Isis remembers those times and can hold those memories for you. So tonight, Isis, we ask that as you transport us back across time and space to the comfort of our home, we ask that you wrap us in that love and that remembrance and hold us really tenderly in that embrace tonight to help us remember our own power and our own love and our own beauty too. And again, just let yourself sort of fall soft in her arms as she will bring you gently back to present time. She will deliver you very safely back to your 3D world. Maybe it's more of a 4D world. And just when you are ready, whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes. I almost wasn't ready to open my eyes, I have to tell you. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Well, it's such a beautiful experience, and I love it so much. You know, we only do it 4 times a year, so it's like every time we do it, it's just knowing that this is going to carry us now for the next 3 months, you know, until we see each other again for this, probably in May. We'll probably do this around Beltane, which would be really special. It'd be really fun actually to do Elder Council on Beltane, wouldn't it? On May 1st. So maybe I'll just plan for that and put that on the calendar. I love that so much. I commit. That should be a new hashtag for us in sabbatical. It should be hashtag I commit. Right? Commit to living what happened tonight, bringing it fully back. Spiritual work does not matter if it's this little like thing over here in your life that you do and then the rest of your life has nothing to do with that. It doesn't work. You have to integrate. Your spiritual work has to become part of your day-to-day, down to all the detailed parts of your life. It's really true. And so, Guardians of the North, all of the sweet spirits who joined us tonight, of course, come from the North. And so, as we release you all from your circle, your service to our circle tonight, we give thanks for the wisdom, the grounding, the protection, the beauty of our sacred Elder Council container. Guardians of the North, we release you. Guardians of the West, beautiful forces of emotional regeneration and healing on every level. We are so thankful for your presence in the circle this evening. We release you from your service. And Guardians of the South, we're so grateful for the element of fire and the transformation that comes through Sekhmet. We understand the regenerative force that fire is and how it can purify and heal and cleanse and clear old stuck trauma and wounds in our heart space that could be even decades old. We're so thankful for the renewal tonight. We release you from your service to the circle and Guardians of the Eastern Gateway. Tonight is a rebirth, and we are so thankful. And so We give thanks for this new beginning. We give thanks for this new sort of lease on life with regard to love and how we're going to open our heart to be more accessible, not only able to give better, but able to receive better. And so we give thanks for this new beginning. We release you from your service to the circle tonight. And the first layer of our circle is released. And the second level of energy around our circle this evening is released. But I hope that this layer of energy is something that you continue to feel. And so I will send, if you want to receive, you can reach out your hand and I will direct that energy of sovereignty, of remembering your priestess self. That's what this wand represents. And so if you wish to receive it, you can just reach out your hand. Just directing all of that energy of sovereign power to you, helping you stand powerfully in your heart space, helping you be more open to receiving emotionally. Aho. And so it is. So it is. And so the last step, I'm going to blow out my candle. It's all north, baby. As it should be after an elder council. That smoke should be going pure skyward, and it is. And so tonight was my favorite elder council, I have to say. Tonight was a sweet one. It was really gentle, you know, in so many ways. And because they wanted to speak of love. And it's so funny because that came through this afternoon. I spent about, I mean, the 2 days leading up to Elder Council is pretty much a nonstop meditation because, and if you ever hold journey space for people, you'll learn this. But as soon as you open the container to start to pray or to start to ask for guidance, the information just comes pouring in. And then now that I've closed the container, I won't really be given any more guidance, but it just came through today, this whole piece about Sekhmet and love and the transformation of your heart space and how much that's needed. And what's really interesting too is, you know, I think it's global right now. I don't think it's just you or just me. I think we all sort of need a renewal of the heart space, you know, and so many of us have spent all of our lives being told that if you make decisions with your heart, you're going to make the wrong decision. But what I think we've really learned is if you don't make your decisions with your heart, you're going to make the wrong decision, right? It's like love is the only truly powerful force in the universe. It really, really is. You know, when you think about how we know we can change the molecular structure of water just by working with intention and speaking to it either lovingly or not, right? How much of your body is water, right? Can't you have that same effect on your body by how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself and how you think about yourself, and how you allow others to treat you is all part of that too. And I think so much of health and wellness, or illness for that matter, is really a function of how much you're willing to love yourself and how you teach other people to love you too. So I'll leave you with that for tonight. I'm so glad you liked it too. Yay. And it's ahead of Valentine's Day. So we've kind of got the love energy already flowing, which is really good. Well, the conversation shall continue in the Facebook group. I love, love, love to read about your experiences. So don't be shy. We all do our best. If you're new, we all do our best to try to help you interpret, you know, if you saw something and you're not sure why you saw it or what you saw. And even if you don't want help interpreting or need help, it's just fun to know what your experience was like. So please, if you have a few minutes and you feel like sharing, I would love to see. And I'll be in the Facebook group tomorrow to follow up on all of that. All right, you guys. Well, thank you. Thank you for being. Thank you for being there. Thank you for doing the work of your soul. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being loving and beautiful. The whole world, including my world, is better because you are here. So thank you. I appreciate you. All right, you guys, have a beautiful rest of your evening. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I did keep some stones here charged for you. And so if you, this is leopard skin jasper, which is a shamanic journey stone. So this is just a little gift. If you do want one, I don't have a lot of pieces here that I charge. It's probably about 50 pieces. So all you have to do is say elder if you place any orders on sagegoddess.com in the next couple of days, and I will send you a piece anointed with elder counsel, which might be fun for some of you who don't have the perfume. That'll give you a way to smell it and experience it without having to, you don't have to buy the bottle. You'll have sort of the energy of it. And you'll have the energy of tonight's ritual too, and all the drumming, because you can sound charge your stones. So anyway, it's just a free gift to you. Don't forget to say elder. That's how the team will know. I've already told them if anybody says elder, they get the free gift, but it's only for sabbatical. So don't tell anybody else. All right, you guys, I'll see you soon. Take good care. Mwah.